Gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Summer Wells went missing on June 15th, 2021. She disappeared from her home at 110 Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. On her 2-year milestone, we placed this banner on the side of the road. Since she went missing, she hasn't been heard or seen from again. While I was visiting the area, I saw Don Wells working on his truck and asked him if he'd come down and speak to me, which he did. Don Wells and I had a conversation about his daughter Summer Wells and information related to her disappearance. Don Wells maintains that somebody came on the property and took his daughter away. He still believes after all this time she has been abducted. His family came under heavy scrutiny, but they maintain their innocence. One thing Don Wells told me is that they have no new leads into anybody that could have been responsible or is responsible for the disappearance of his daughter Summer Wells. Many people across this country want to know what happened to Summer Wells. Where is Summer? If you have any information related to the disappearance of Summer Wells, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. So this is Layla Santinello. She has been missing since June 27th, 2023, and she disappeared from Kingsport, Tennessee. Chronicles of Olivia and I went out to Kingsport, Tennessee on several different trips, searching for Layla Santinello or any information leading to her whereabouts. These are my thoughts on this case.
Well, I have to be honest with you.
I was hoping by now we would have found Layla. So this has been very hard. You know, we want to bring her home. We want to make sure that her family knows what happened to her, I think is really the most important. Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. Just like to speak to them just for a moment and just say, if you know something, say something, because her life does matter. For the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, hello, my beautiful people of YouTube and X. It's nice to see you this afternoon, this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I would love to go through here and tell you guys hi and individually like I usually do, but today we've got a lot to unpack in a short amount of time to do it. So I've been looking into this case. Like I said, there's so many possibilities related to the Soto case and the Guerra case that it really could be a number of things. It went from the girlfriend. Now it's kind of, we're looking at the kind of gang, cartel, mafia type hit, which, you know, a lot of people are leaning there. I went back and I have been reviewing this video. I've spent endless hours reviewing this video with this man at this truck because, you know, the ex-girlfriend, she's short. We're going to watch some videos. We're going to talk about this. We're going to look at a lot of different details here. I went ahead and started generating AI images for the person that body type. You know, we're not looking at facial features. Obviously, we can't see the facial features. We're looking at body types. And so I decided to go to AI to assist me in helping me look at body types and stomachs and things of that nature. And I got to tell you, I think we might be onto something here, at least for body features, size, to give us an idea of this man's size or what he might look like. You know, what is his, I don't want to be rude. I really don't care at this point, right? He knows that who killed a pregnant woman. So his fat content, right? We want to see where the fat is stored. We want to see how chubby his cheeks are going to be, right? We're not looking at facial features. We're looking at body features. And so I've got some things here, and I want to go back because before we get started, I think this is kind of sums this all up, and it comes from Jennifer Coffindaffer. Okay, I'm a Jennifer Coffindaffer fan. I really am. I think she has a wealth of knowledge. She's got a lot of experience that we do not possess. You know, just like any other law enforcement officer, it's you have to take your experience and speculate. And sometimes your speculation can be wildly wrong. Sometimes it can be right on the money. But I think she's got it right on the money here. I really do. So let's go ahead and pull this up here real quick, and we're just going to read this. Oh, let me get you a little bit bigger than that. There we go. And it says, this is a story of gang life, period. 15-year-old steals dope. Dope dealing teen retaliates by luring 15-year-old who stole his dope to his death by using an underage girl. Family of 15-year-old attacks teen dope dealer who set up the murder of the 15-year-old. And now we have an 18-year-old who's 9 months pregnant, her unborn baby, and the baby's father, all deceased. Hoping other members of the Soto family and the Rivas family can break free. And so it just goes into a Fox News article. As you see, here she is, a very heavily pregnant girl, and they're, taking selfies with, ARs and 9, Glocks. So we know what kind of lifestyle they were living, but it doesn't matter. She was a pregnant mom to be, and she didn't deserve this. So, I want to kind of go back in time, if I may. I'm going to throw this stuff up here for you. I'm just going to draw, like, literally start going into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, because this is the work that I have been able to try to, at least create a little bit. So here's the slide that we've all seen, right? Like, we've all seen this. We've seen the car. We've seen this man. This man is a heavy, heavy man. I don't think I can express this enough to you. I really don't think I can express this enough to you. Oh, thank you. It's me, Jen. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for, if you guys received a free gift, Bullhorn Betty gift membership, please don't forget to thank Jennifer. Thank you, Jen. So we have this guy. He's a big guy, okay? A really big guy. I even marked it on here, okay? Do you guys see that line on there? That's the guy's waistline. He's a big guy, all right? That is basically from stomach to hump on his ass, okay? He is a large, large man. I don't think I can express that. Again, I don't think I can express that. Look familiar? This is where I started, doing some photo AI work here, because we're looking at a big belly. We need to see what kind of size man we have to have in order to get the belly that we got. That's the only thing that's noticeable on that man that we can see. So that's where I'm working from. Okay. I can't see a whole lot of features on him, but the one feature I can tell is his belly and how far it dropped and how much sag is in that belly. You're looking at and this is a more fit. That guy that was in there was not a more fit. He was a more fat type of guy. Okay. So you see the difference between fat versus big and thick. This is fat. This produces that sumo belly. That's it, sweet misery. That's what I said in Justice for All. It was like a sumo wrestler. And so you're looking at somebody that's a huge guy. Okay. Almost like a Samoan. Have you guys seen Samoan men? There's some big, they're big men, So that's what we're looking for. This is more fit, but you're getting an idea of the size of the man that we're looking for. We're not looking for, like, I looked at that. I went back and looked at the father of the girl, right? And when I went and looked at the father, he's not this size. Okay, he's just not this size. And again, I put the line on his ass because I needed a marking. I needed to find. This is a big. I'm talking about a fat MFer. Okay, a big fat, slobby guy. Probably sits on his butt and eats all day. Shouldn't say that. I'm just angry with him. But you're talking about a big dude, okay? Now we're talking about going back to that video where the girl's getting out, okay? I'm not going to go back and play it. We might play it here in just a little bit. I'm sure it's in one of these clips somewhere. But you see her getting out. And where he's standing and she gets out, they're almost eyeball to eyeball. Like, they're about the same. Like, when she steps up there for a second, he's kind of leaning down. They look like they're about the same height. It's going to be important to know that because, again, we have several different theories here, one being the ex-girlfriend and her father. I think her father has now been, or not her father. Okay, I want to make sure this is clarified. Somebody corrected me on it. I did see a picture of her real biological father. The guy in the picture is either her mom's boyfriend or a step parent to Annalisa. I don't know which, but I was told. I haven't even confirmed one way or another. Oh, maybe I should say parent, but when I'm talking live, I talked about a father, mother, whatever. For that purpose. But for clarifications for people, that was the person in that photo with her mother is not her biological father. So it's either a boyfriend, a step parent, something along those lines. So I wanted to make sure I clarified that with you guys. 3 people, including the baby, are deceased, and he knows something. Yeah. I believe everybody kind of knows what happened to them. Everybody but the police. Really? God's, oh, Cranky Pants is up in the house. Her stepdad, yes. Okay, yeah, there you go. So, this, in my opinion, I've been really, because there's so many, I want to try to eliminate what we can so we can start focusing on what it really is. Because just because we have 1,000 people saying it's the girlfriend doesn't make it the girlfriend, or the ex-girlfriend doesn't make it the ex-girlfriend. Just because 1,000 people say it's gang related doesn't mean it's gang related. Just because all of these weird things and phenomenons are going on in this man's life with the drugs, the gangs, the new baby coming, the fights with everybody. I hear that there was a lot of contention when it come to this guy. I don't know if Matt just had a big head and felt like he was invincible and walked around like that and treated people like that, treated people subservient. There we go. Jeez, I can't speak. Subservient to him. Did this cause, major problems? It's possible. There are a lot of these things, again, are very much possible. So let's go. I want to go back to Mona Harris's video. She's the neighbor. I want to say this. I was in the Savanah Soto discussion chats. I noticed that they're all starting to fix the names because a lot of people, especially when this first started breaking, we heard Savannah. Everybody, even in the mainstream media news articles, had 2 N's in her name, because I was copying and pasting, and all my stuff from the beginning had 2 N's versus 1 N. So a lot of people were making that mistake. I see that those things are being fixed and changed now that we know that she only has 1 N in her name. But there was a post on there, and this lady that released this film footage from her apartment that showed Annalisa and her boyfriend and the 3 guys and stuff like that. Well, apparently she's trying to get out of this housing, and we're going to go through that. I think she is in danger. And then some people were like, I hope she didn't do this for money. Look, she released these photos. I can clearly tell that apartment complex is a dangerous place to be. And it's riddled with gangs and people that carry a lot of guns. And she's releasing some really damaging information on people that could be perceived as gang members. I'm sure her life is in danger. So people that are saying that she's doing this, it's not like she's asking for, 18 to 20 or $40,000. She's saying, hey, if you guys would like to help, I just need an additional 1,400 so I can move out of here sooner. And people started blowing up, and it's like, guys, I don't want to even hear it, because if it was something ridiculous, I could see it, but she was being reasonable. And not only that, she's putting herself in jeopardy by releasing this stuff, especially on the people that she's releasing it on, which could cause her substantial problems in the future. So I'm not posting her account by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not getting involved one way or the other, but I just want to let people know, when you're in areas like this and somebody's releasing information and they're wanting to get the hell out of Dodge, don't say that they're just doing it for money. We can see that there's guns and gun violence here at this apartment complex, without a doubt. It's a dangerous place to be, in my opinion. It's not someplace I would feel comfortable even parking in the parking lot.
Part 1. This is days before the guys had the conversation about the incident. So a lot of people have been using my content and making it as their own as a report, which is cool. Just give credit to the person whose video it belongs to.
And just to let you know, that's exactly why we're doing it. That's why we said it was Mona Harris. She did put her overlay over it. We never removed the overlay or anything like that. So she's been very cool. You know, she's letting us use the content that she's getting. She just wants everybody to know that it's her content, and rightfully so. And she's also coming under a lot of great heat because of it, to the point she needs to move.
This is the video that I mentioned about. Do you guys remember me saying about the fight? This is beforehand. This is before the actual fight went down. So somebody, a lady, her, and another girl came to confront this neighbor about something before the reporting of the young lady and her boyfriend being found.
I don't like the way these photos are when they're downloaded in file format, I have to be honest with you. So that's one of them. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be the same thing. Let me see if I can put these in a different format. Hold on just a second. I might have to drop some things off here. Hold on a second. Let's remove this. Okay. I'm going to remove that from the studio. Let me see if I can pull this up a different way. Give me just a second. If you guys can hear it, then we'll go with it. But sometimes it's all functified and it doesn't allow you guys to hear crap or it's really low. Give me a second. But I want it on here because then I can blow it up. The way it's downloaded on the screen, it's not allowing me to do what I need to do to it, or with it, rather. We got that one. There's that one. Let's go with 2. Is part 1 or part 2? Sorry, guys. Give me just a second.
Part 1.
That's part 1. Okay. So let me just watch that one. Let's go to part 2. Okay. Give me just a second. Make sure it's not running. And if you guys can't hear this, you're going to have to let me know. Let me go. Present screen. All right, you guys are gonna have to let me know if you guys can hear. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Bring this down. It's not gonna let me get it any bigger either, but hopefully it'll be a little bigger for you guys. That's about as big as it's gonna let me get it. I'm sorry, guys. That was one big girl too, leaving. And we all saw the video. I need to pull that video back up. Let me find it real quick. We need to find that video. But see, that's Annalisa right there. Okay, I'm pausing it right here for just a second, but that's Annalisa right there. And you can see her size. She's a shorter girl, not the size girl that was in that car. The size girl that was in that car was probably just a little shorter of her boyfriend's height. So as you see, there's just a lot going on here. Let me go ahead and get this out. A lot going on with this one. And then I've got the video. I want to show you guys the apartment video again, where he's coming up and talking about, where he's talking about where it was Annalisa's boyfriend talking about Savannah and Matthew dying. That one. If you saw the guy that was on the stairs that stood up that they were talking to, I didn't notice it right away, but I did end up noticing it during another preview because we had played it like several times, and he had a gun in his back pocket. So he's sitting on the stairs making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing at that, and there's no threat. I don't know if he's the lookout for whoever was there, but there was something going on. Here it is. I've got it right here. Hold on. Let me find it. This is probably going to slow my, my, here it is. Got it. This one right here. Let me put it on up here. I'm going to play it from the beginning. I'm going to play it from the beginning. There we go. Right there.
Forgot about it. Here we go.
I want you to watch him. Look at his hand. His hand right here is on his gun. Right here. Right there. It's on his gun. There is a gun in this man's back pocket. He was sitting on those. He heard somebody come up, and he stands straight up to check out who's coming up and puts his hand slap on his gun. Look at that. You can see his gun in his back pocket right there. Shining. And then he takes his hand off of it. And that's when they talk about it. So again, the reason why I'm showing this to you guys is because I want you to understand where this girl, this Mona Harris, is staying. Because I got to tell you, I was a little offended. I have to be honest with you, just slightly, with the remarks that were made when she had made that post, and I get why she did it, and there was a lot of people that also said that she was showing older videos, that this wasn't in and around the time that these crimes took place, and she even decided to correct people on that with receipts as well.
They're old.
So if there's any mistake as to whether or not she had the doorbell, the Ring doorbell camera, and these are the times that this stuff was going on, and she's circling it and saying, look, this was happening in the AMs, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. So she even produced the receipts up there. But again, I just want to go back to this. You're talking about a sumo wrestler type of man. This is a huge guy. This is not some small waisted guy. This is a very, very large, width, fat guy. He's not fit. I don't foresee him being I see him being fat like that with the saggy belly. It's the belly. And you're going to look at, the man boobs, how chubby the face is. I think would be looking more in the lines of something or someone like this. And I actually believe this is about the age this person would be as well, as opposed to the older man. The older man, I kept looking at his body shape. And while he does look right from the side, he's not as big. And he's much older. And quite frankly, I don't know if he's as tall either. It's hard to gauge the height of the man standing next to the truck, but you got a standard truck. I don't think that truck was standard. For whatever reason, I feel like that truck had a slight lift on it, either a 6-inch lift or a 12-inch lift on that truck. Because this guy's belly, I got to tell you, when that belly fell out, it almost took him forward. I think that's where you see him kind of stumbling as he gets out of the truck. And when he starts playing with his shirt. I don't think he's going to be fit like this, but he very well may be. He very well may be. But I think we're looking more for somebody with a big belly and more fat than muscle. Everybody keeps saying it's an F-150, but I'm pretty sure law enforcement has confirmed that it is a Chevy Silverado. I don't know what year, but it is a Chevy Silverado. That's what's been confirmed by law enforcement. I heard, this is from Dolly Vision's channel. He had Detective John on there. Apparently he's a detective. Seems like a really nice guy. very knowledgeable about certain things and what have you. And so he was, where was I getting? Dad burn it. I just lost my thought. I don't know why. Probably because I'm starting to get tired. At least I'd already studied it was a Chevy. Yeah, they said it was a Chevy Silverado. Oh, I remember. It's the brow of the car. That's what he was talking about. That's what I was getting at. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow this afternoon. I've been up since like 2:00 this morning. And you guys know I don't do well in the afternoons, especially when I don't have a nap. I need my nap and I didn't get my nap today. So I'm already starting to get exhausted. But he said it's the brow. It's the brow of the truck that really helps make out the make and model of the vehicle, especially in poor visual. You can usually make out the brow of the car. So he really did help educate people on identifying vehicles. It is definitely a lesson that I think I will remember for the future and apply it many times. Oh, you're good. I just had to go because I needed to get all set up. And actually, I probably had a few more minutes I could have spared, but it would have been one of those things where if I spared the extra minute, then I'd be behind. Yeah, Chevy brow is in back. So that's really it. I just really wanted you guys to get a look at what I feel. This doesn't mean it's true. These are not images or renderings law enforcement is putting out there. I'm not using them to help identify the suspect. I'm using it to help you guys get an idea and identify his body and what body size we're looking for, because just because a guy has got a belly, like I see people doing the image stuff, like there was this one guy with frizzy hair that was at the vigil, and everybody's trying to say, hey, he's got a belly. And I looked at it and they're like doing this imaging where it kind of fades into the next image, and it's like his belly's like a foot smaller than the belly coming out of that truck, like literally a foot smaller. And so this guy at that vigil, I don't think has anything to do with it. He didn't remotely look like the guy. I really think, like I said, oh, thanks, Jen. Jen's just rolling it over here. She's just giving gifts all over. She's giving me all these kisses, right? I think. Thank you, Jen. Thanks for being a wonderful supporter of the Bullhorn Betty channel. But that's what I think we're looking for. And actually, to be honest with you, I kind of think the hair might have been about the same too. I kept looking at that video, but sometimes you just got to walk away from it and come back and look at it again, because it's almost like your mind starts playing tricks on you. And that's really why I had to start using, like I had to use like some features to get, so I wasn't, my eyes weren't making, playing tricks on me. I had to start using visual aids and stuff like that to identify how big this boy really is. And you're talking about a big flipping boy. I mean, this guy's a huge guy. And he's got a huge, I mean, this belly is a belly that rolls over itself. That's why whenever he got out of that truck, it just fell, because it was sitting on his lap. He's one of those people that wears clothes and he puts his shorts up past his roll. His roll's that big. He's so big. I mean, it sounds awful, and I'm not trying to make fun of the man, but in all fairness, he probably hasn't seen his junk ever. If he has, it's been a really long time. His belly literally covers everything. And it looks like his legs, like it's almost funny, because when I was looking at him coming out, it looks like he, like down by his ankles and stuff, they're not like, huge cankles. It looks like bird legs too. So I think that there might even be something there. I mean, he's got the compression socks on, so I know he's got some circulation issues going on, even for whatever age he is. You could tell that. But his legs, like his body, I shouldn't say his legs. I'm sure his legs are big, but from the side, he's got like this bubble, and then it goes like this, and then you got your legs. So it's like his legs, I'm sure, are big, but compared to his body, they look like little chicken legs, is what I've noticed. LM Sparks, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see everybody here. And like I said, I wasn't going to stay here too long, but I really did want you guys to see this. I wanted you guys to see this because as I'm trying to eliminate possibilities, I mean, it is looking like when we first started out with this, and we found out that there was that fight in the courtroom. I said, you know what, we really need to look at that because you're talking about gangs. That's you know, even though nobody lost their life in that courthouse, that was disrespectful to that gang. That gang will have to stand up for their own. And so I thought that that was a major issue that I thought would rise to the level that could potentially in this kind of lifestyle get somebody killed. That fight could definitely get two people killed over in the gang life. It absolutely can. Think about it. I mean, a 15-year-old got gunned down over stealing some vapes that the family was going to pay for. It's insane because they are willing to go to jail for the rest of their life over respect or disrespect. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not willing to give up my life over something that trivial, especially what somebody else thinks of me. That I don't ever think. I could care less what somebody else thinks of me. Definitely not willing to give up my life to off them for thinking that about me or being disrespectful for that matter. You know, I mean, I deal with a lot of disrespect on a date. I would be the biggest serial killer in the United States of America if that was the case. But these are gang type of scenarios. But then when we start realizing that he's moving a massive, and I mean a massive amount of weight, it now puts that other thing. So, I mean, it literally could be, and then you've got the issue with his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend. Everywhere they go, they're down each other's throat. They're chasing each other out of nail salons. They're ready to beat each other up. They're ready to show who's boss, you know, just kind of stuff. So it really is, it really is a whodunit and where did it come from type of thing. What was the motive, means, and opportunity here? We know that they were taken. We heard that there was a screaming coming out of their apartment. So it almost leaves us to believe that they were abducted or kidnapped from the apartment, because why else would she scream if she didn't fear for her life at that moment? She wouldn't have screamed. She would have just walked out if she thought, if this is just normal people, we know them, let's go take care of this and stuff like that. There would have been no need for a scream in that apartment if she was not abducted or kidnapped at that moment. So then you fast forward, the law enforcement finds the car, finds the bodies inside of it, and also finds shells. Everybody's like, well, are you sure they got killed in the car? I'm confident, based on the information, even before we knew about the shell casings being in the car, that they most likely lost their life inside that car. And the reason why I said that is because had they not lost their life inside the car, they would have lost their life inside the house. Because if they lost their life inside the house, why would some stranger want to load their bodies up in a car and take them and dump them somewhere else? It just doesn't make sense. The only thing that made sense in this scenario is for them to be killed inside that car, not even outside of the car. And here's why. Because Matthew is so tall and so big, they would have had a hard time trying to get him back into the vehicle once he was deceased. So all the deaths would have had to happen in the car for that not to be otherwise she wouldn't have been sitting in the seat, in the front passenger seat. There would just been a whole other different scenery in there had they not been killed inside the car, in my opinion. And I had addressed that up front that I thought they were killed in the car and dumped. And we can all agree that by the time we seen that surveillance video of the man stepping out of the very large man stepping out of the dark colored truck, and the girl, much taller than Annalisa, girl getting out of the back of that car, because when she stood up about as tall as this big heavy guy did. I don't know what his size is though. I'll have to go measure a Chevy Silverado. I'll have to measure it, and then we'll have to add 6 inches on it and add 12 inches on it. I can't tell you, but that truck, for whatever reason, looks like it's been modified. It's been lifted to me. It doesn't look like it's been lifted significant, so I'm really kind of leaning toward like a 6-inch lift on it, but I really got to check the video again and look at the body size and the body height of a standard Silverado. But for whatever reason, it looks like it's got a tiny lift on it. Not much, but something. I don't think it happened in the car either. I don't think it happened in the car. So some people don't think it. Well, what would make you think? How would the shell casings get in there? If they shot them outside of the car, they're not going to be picking up the shell casings off the ground and throwing them in the car. They would have just left them since they weren't even going to be there. Just a thought, just a little food for thought. His body type is very common in that area. I know. And it was so funny. Somebody's like, it looks like they were going through the pickup trucks and stuff like that. And I'm like looking for a large, Latino or Mexican man of a large stature driving a Chevy pickup truck. It's like a dime a dozen. It literally is a dime a dozen. Everybody in Texas drives around in a pickup truck, just about everybody. So as far as pickup, like you can turn, like there's, I've been to Texas, and every time you turn around, there's some sort of truck. There are cars, there are SUVs. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it seems in Texas, the favored vehicle of Texans is pickup trucks. Matthew's dad know who did this. Why did he go bust down their door? He might have wanted to see if they were dead inside because nobody was picking up the phones and they knew she was, they may have thought the door's locked. They got it. I think they were, when he busted down the door, he was expecting to find his son I think he was expecting to find them dead. And when they weren't there, I think he realized something was seriously wrong and took whatever he could out of the house because they knew they needed to go to law enforcement and file a missing person case, and he wanted to make sure law enforcement didn't get a hold of the stuff. But I did hear his father took stuff out of the house. I sure did. I heard that. Again, I can't say for sure. It could be rumored. It could be rumors. And that's just how it needs to be handled. But so I see that we have more people in the room. So I just wanted to go over some of the stuff with you guys that we had for this particular case. This is new stuff that I used some AI to help guide me in this particular situation. This is something that was released from another creator that kind of cleaned up the image. And I think that the reason why I like this one, because it really does, it really does show you the size of his belly right there. You really see, I think in this image, how big, how fat this guy is. This guy is like a sumo wrestler of a guy. And so I tried to get as much imagery as I could to show the true description of his body size, because, we were looking at the father-in-law or the stepdad or the mom's boyfriend of Annalisa. He's not this big, not even on his best day. This is one big guy. And so I got as close as I could. And you can see the imagery of his ass. I mean, he's got a big ass. Okay. He's got a big body. And so I just put a line of his stomach just to get a good idea of the width from the side view of this man. And he is a big guy, not her father at all. And you guys know that's low-hanging fruit for me. It'd be easy done. I'm glad I'm not seeing this, but I got to tell you, I went through this thoroughly and over and over and over again, and trying to figure out what is it, because I'm trying to figure out what kind of body type he has. I'm not looking at his face at this point. I just want to know what kind of body type he has and what would cause that belly to flop. And this is what I have, guys. This guy, I guarantee, is over 700 pounds. I want to put that in perspective. I think the guy we're looking at is over 700 pounds. Quite frankly, I think he's closer to 800, but I'm trying to be conservative and say 700 because it's between 600 and 800. This guy is a big and heavy man. Yes, big boy. Big boy. I don't think he's muscular. He's a big muscular guy like this guy here. I think we're looking for somebody more like with a body type like this. So there's the information. You know, I love AI. It really helped me kind of bring the imagery home on this. Does this mean that what I gave you today is true? No, this is my opinion. Okay. This is my opinion by doing research and my research. I definitely recommend you guys doing your own, blowing it up, looking at the shadows, going back and forth. Maybe you might find a clue that somebody else is not finding. But I think when I looked at this and I had to do the estimation and I had to create these through AI, I've got a good idea of the weight that I had to use to create the images that I received. And I would definitely say this man is a very, very large man, and I would bet some money that he's over 700 pounds. And I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on that. Might be 600, but I think I did the range 600 to 800 pounds to get those images the way that I got those images. And I have to say the one with the belly shot was pretty spot on. I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of the belly that we saw popping out. I mean, in reality, I guarantee if we looked at this man on the side, we'd probably get that nice line that I was able to get on the images. But that's definitely kind of where I'm at. And this really did give us the belly effect that we were looking for at that weight. So, and that's what I was really looking for. I was really looking for that weight in the belly formation. What would make that belly form like that and flop like that? And so this is kind of where is this scientific? Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not Bullhorn Betty scientific. It did not go through the rigorous scientific process that we require here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So we're going to say that this is renderings and are used as an aid of visual aids to give you a determination of body size. I don't know how I got a belly on my at 360. Why I said more like 500 to 600 pounds. Yeah, exactly. But it was that flop, and I was like, you know what? There's something here. This is a clue. What can I get out of this? And you know, I think it all come back to the father. I keep calling him the father. When I say father, when I talk about Annalisa's father, I know she has a different biological father, but when I'm referring to it, we haven't talked about her biological father. I was going to go 450 pounds too, speculation, but when I plugged those numbers in, it did not give me that belly I was looking for. Now, granted, this is AI, so I mean, we might be looking at a 500-pound man there, but because I plugged 600 to 800, I'm telling you 600 to 800, right? I don't know. I didn't create the image. I plugged some stuff in, and it spit me out an image, and I was like, ooh, look at this, right? Let's be honest, right? I'm honest. I know. But I couldn't at 600 pounds. I could not get that from 400 to 600. I couldn't get the belly. The belly would it did. I couldn't produce on AI. Again, I'm doing this through AI. I could not produce that belly. The belly that we've seen produce. I could not produce this belly here without going over 600 pounds. So does that mean he's over 600 pounds? No, it doesn't. It means that the AI program, this is what they this is what they do. It can be either or. But I have had one of my it was my sister-in-law, and she was a heavy set woman, and she was 550 pounds, and she had a big belly. But women's bellies at that size and men's bellies at that size develop a little different. And so I don't know. Could he be 500 to 600? Very well could be. But this is kind of what I'm looking for. But I'm telling you, this is a big person, and I guarantee they're over 600 pounds. I feel, for whatever reason, like when they finally catch this person, I almost want to look at their sheet just to see their weight, because I bet you, I mean, 600 to 800 is the only way I could get this belly. I got to be honest with you. So again, it doesn't mean that this guy's 600 to 800 pounds. It just means that's what it took to generate it through the AI program. Good evening, all just dropped in. Well, Tracy, it's nice to see you, love. Oof, what did I just walk into? Oh, we're talking about the body makeup of the guy that was seen in the photos, the video of Savanah Soto right there. I have been trying to figure out, because, you know, the stepfather, and I also said, you know, it could be, but this guy here looks much bigger than the stepfather. And he almost looks like a kingpin. Yes, I mean, the kingpins I see, he even looks like he's got some facial hair, but it looks like his head's literally sitting on his shoulders. And so I decided to blow it up and mark his butt, like, right? That's his ass. That's his from front of the belly to the back of his ass. And so I'm realizing I'm dealing with a pretty big boy. You know, definitely, I think Annalisa's dad is a little bit a lot smaller than this guy that's featured here. And so I started using some AI to do some renderings. And in order for me to get this belly effect that we've seen pop out of that man's shirt, I had to go up to 600 to 800 pounds in order to get the rendering I was looking for. Does that mean this man's 600 to 800 pounds? No, but I have a funny feeling when he gets on the scale, I guarantee you he's over 600 pounds. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the renderings predisposed my mind to his weight. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think he's fit like this guy. This guy's kind of a fit, large man. This one is more of a fat. The guy I saw getting out of that truck was more fat, not fit. So these are kind of the renderings that I used AI for to get me some imagery. So I was just looking for body shapes to see, you know, facial features like the chubby cheeks, how big his face would be, what he would look like potentially. And quite frankly, I think that this, you know, with the images that we've seen, is probably more in line with what the guy looks like, as opposed to Annalisa's stepdad. So man boobs. We saw the man boobs come. The man boobs, it came belly and boobs, okay? And the poor guy, you know, when he was getting out of the car, looked like he was about to face plant right into the Kia Optima, because his belly, I mean, he fell out. It's like he must have stepped wrong when he got out, and it almost looked like his belly like had this, I don't know, this like spring effect. Like like when he went down, the belly kind of came up, and when his feet hit the ground, it kind of went whoop. And it took him down, and like he almost jerked when his belly, like he grabbed his belly, like it almost was like he wasn't expecting his belly to hit that, like almost dropped to the ground like it did. He like fell over and grabbed his belly, like, oh shit, I almost lost my belly. Side tires for sure. Oh yeah. So, but I think that I just wanted to give people an idea of the person. But when I really honed in on it, when you go in that close, you're really looking at shadows at that point, right? You know where because it's in black and white, so you know where your white pixels are and your black pixels are, and where your shadowing is. So you're kind of looking for the shadowing to help define the body shape. And so I'm sitting here and I keep looking at it, keep rewinding, keep fast forwarding. And it finally, flotation devices. Oh my goodness. But this is a big boy. And he's, after looking at that and watching his mannerisms, I think he's much young. I mean, he's still an older person, but I think he's much younger than what we think he is. He's definitely younger than Annalisa's stepfather, in my opinion, and by a couple decades. I think whatever take 15 or 20 years off, that's probably the age of this guy that stepped out of that truck. So again, it's just what I'm seeing. You guys need to go out and do your own stuff. Maybe this will help you. Maybe it'll help you see his image better. Maybe it'll help you make out the shadows better now that we can see the body type, the puffy face, the puffy cheeks, what those would look like. Especially, you got to kind of, visualize them. And that's where, when we have to use our own brains, that's where when our stuff starts getting a little wonky, because we all visualize differently. So I don't know. That's just the information I found. Hopefully you guys find it informal. Does anybody want me to open up the phones? Do you guys have any additional information about this case that we haven't covered? I'll give you guys just a few moments to let me know if anybody would like to come up and provide any additional information on this case that would be beneficial to the audience. I agree, Betty. Younger than her, father. Yeah, definitely shorter than that. Men don't have big boobies. Yeah, they do. Big boobies with their weight usually. Oh, have a big booty with her. Wow, this guy, it's all belly. I mean, it literally is. We don't know how flat his ass is. I can just telling you, it's just going from the belly to the ass. I mean, when the shadow from the ass falls off, that's when that line ended. I don't know if he's got an ass or not. I'm just saying it goes from one end to the other end. Okay. Don't know which way is up or down. I don't think it's 700. Oh, believe it or not, I had a guy that I worked with that was, oh, good Lord, over 800 pounds. He was a big guy. I don't know how he walked. And he walked. He was one of those people that got the big pants. Like, he had such a roll. Like, you could see his roll moving in his pants. Because they pull the pants up over the roll and everything, so it makes them look thinner. Because the roll sometimes it goes down sometimes to their thighs. And so it's just easier for them to put the pants over it than try to find a shirt to cover it. So it's my sister-in-law was 500 and some odd pounds, 550 or 570. So I can tell you this guy looks bigger than her. So, and she had no boobs. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if she had boobs or not. I don't know. I never looked. I think he's like 4'5", 5'6". I think he is. Maybe he might be. I was basing it off of 5'10", 5'11", because of the way where he came up on that truck. That truck does look lifted, though. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's got a little lift kit on it. I don't think it's a 12-inch lift kit, but I think it's got at least a 6-inch lift kit on it for some reason. It looks modified. It looks like it's lifted higher than the normal Silverados. But again, that angle, the way you're looking at it, the size of it, you're really going off memory. It's not like I'm doing major calculations back here to see if it's possible. Okay, I'm not doing all that. God bless the law enforcement agents that get it down to a science. I'm sorry, Bullhorn Betty is just not that scientific. I'm lucky that I turn my computer on. I'm lucky I even know how to work the camera. I'm lucky I have this. Mission detected. Take precautions. If it's not something Bullhorn Betty can push, I really don't do good at it, all right? I'm a button pusher. That's what I do. It's my job. It's my job, guys. Should I start pushing the buttons to make all the people go crazy? Yeah, why not? Just throwing some bombs out you. That's all. I know. What can I do? I gotta have some fun. It's Sunday and I feel like we've just been meh. Right? This is just a horrible case. And the worst part about it, I got to be honest with you. The worst part about it for me is looking at her photos when she's pregnant. Like, I know she died pregnant, but those photos of her just so grossly pregnant, she's overly pregnant. Like she's done. Like she's put a fork in it. She's done. The babies should have been born a week ago. how much life would be different for her had the baby been born a week ago. And it just, it's, I look at her and the only thing that ever comes to my mind when I look at her right now is the fear she must have felt in those final hours. That moment when she knew that her and her baby weren't going to make it. I can't imagine that feeling. I can't imagine hearing her begging for her life. I just, it's so hard for me, and I it's hard not to think about that, right? It's you're looking at this girl, you're learning about her life, you realize her life, it wasn't a rough life, but it there was some decisions that could have been made better um on both of their parts. They're young, they're young, they have to find their own way, and some get sucked into a life. And the money of that life, it's almost addictive, right? It's almost addictive having that kind of money when you come from nothing, right? You feel like you're making it, even though you're making it all in the wrong ways, and very dangerous lifestyle that is being lived. But that's the attraction of the gang lifestyle, being somebody, right? Being a badass, being the OG, being top dog, right? Um, Showing you got it, and it and getting it. It's almost addictive. Feeling like you're on the top of the world, like you're Escobar, right? Well, you attract a lot of people, you make a lot of waves, you step on a lot of toes, right? You corner somebody else's market. Next thing you know, you got a turf war. People pissed off at you. It's a dangerous life. It's a dangerous life. They were both sucked into the money and the prestige of the gang life. And, their baby never made it. The baby never made it. I pray to God that they both rest in peace. I know that the families are down each other's throat from what I'm hearing behind the scenes, that they're, and this happens when you have death. It does things to people, and there's a lot of anger, hurt, and animosity, especially with Matthew putting his hands on her previously. And I'm sure the family is just angry. And, they have every right to be. They feel like this had nothing to do with her. This was all his doing. Here it is once again. He's abused her. He hurt her while she was pregnant, from what we're hearing. Even though his family's saying that they loved each other and he didn't do that. There was people that pointed out stuff in videos to me, bruises on her. So I truly believe in the heart of hearts that yes, he has abused her. And I do believe that he's abused her while she's been pregnant. I read a statement on one of the Reddit posts, or maybe it was a post in her group, talking about how, some people said she needs to take accountability for her part in this. First of all, none of them have accountability in any of this. Nobody, they didn't do this to themselves. The only people accountable for this are the people that did this. There is not one thing. I don't care if they told these people to go suck a big fat, what. I don't care if he slapped them in the face. I don't care if they had a brawl in the middle of the yard. I don't care. No matter what they did, it didn't deserve this, and it damn sure didn't deserve the loss of an unborn child, an innocent baby. An innocent baby, hours away from breathing air and meeting the world. Hours away. There is no excuse, and I swear we're going to know who this is. I believe the license plate, if we've already got people cleaning up the license plate and making out digits on the license plate, I can guarantee law enforcement is doing the same thing. Please don't call any numbers that you read online to law enforcement. Okay. Let them do their own work. Don't be going in there. That's not your information. You didn't create it. Don't be giving them the numbers. Don't be calling up there. Okay. Let it be. Let it be. Let me get the... All right. All right, the phone lines are open. Let me change. Hold on, let me change my share screen. Make sure it's not popping it up. Hold on a second. Don't call in yet. There we go. There we go. Okay. We's ready. Karen, if you want to call in. Think it. Yeah, it's on. Let me get back to you guys' comments real quick here. What does it say? Maybe Matt was also helping his family members. It's possible. All this stuff is Happy New Year.
Hi. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. Now, I just wanted to run something by you. They've been put out there how Matthew had his room was a contact room. They haven't said that about her yet, but I think we had talked about this. And I think that's what me and you had believed, that she was probably done first.
Yeah.
And it would make sense. I mean, it looks like he was held, at gunpoint for them to have it that close to his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty vicious, I think, what went down. And did you get to see his last ping, how close it was to where they were found?
I think it was only 200 feet or 200. It was really close.
Yeah, it wasn't far. So what I'm wondering is, because he had posted that he was going, to pick up stuff, I'm wondering if he was set up from there. Like,
I still don't. Yeah, I know that that's your. I haven't, because
yeah, I know you think it was from the house.
Yeah, because nothing's explaining that scream yet. Once that scream is resolved, then I can move past it. But until that scream is resolved, it's making it really hard for me to move past possible kidnapping and abduction from the house.
I heard somebody. I mean, you hear so much, you don't know what to believe. But I heard that the scream was that they were fighting that day, so that could be one reason for the scream. But like I said, you can't believe everything you hear that's coming out.
Yeah.
But I was just curious. I mean, seeing it was so close to where they were, I was wondering if it was, like I've always told you, I think he was set up. Obviously, that's what I'm thinking. If he went to pick up whatever he was doing, and from there was people, waiting. And because it wasn't far from where they found them. I just don't know. You don't know what time the ping was. I don't know if that's been released. Do you?
No, I haven't heard anything for the timeline at all. I mean, literally nothing. No. The only thing that we have, I'll tell you everything that we have for the timeline that came from law enforcement. It is 12:22. They were at the Grissom Home Avenue Apartments, wherever that is on Grissom Avenue. And on the 23rd, she was supposed to meet her family at the hospital or doctor's office to be induced. I'm pretty sure it was the hospital. And she never showed up. And so her family reported her missing. They originally tried to report her missing in San Antonio, but they said because she was from Leon Valley that they needed to report her there. And they did do that. In that same time frame, the father of Matthew broke into the house and found the candle lit, found some other items inside the home. They did December 25th, they did a vigil to help find her. Her sister-in-law, Joni Wassel, received a tip for the location of the car. And of course, we understand everything that's unfolded then. At the time of the car, we learned that they're deceased. They've been murdered, and they are murdered by, and they both, for the way the article read, it sounds like both of them, when I read it, I think they alluded that both of them were contact wounds.
They were both.
I think I remember reading that in one of the reports that they were both determined not just gunshot wounds but contact wounds.
Yeah, that makes a difference. The contact wound. I mean, that means you got somebody. You're holding that right
close
against them.
You're close enough to put it up to their head. I mean, that's how you're within arm's length away from them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like just in the back, backseat of and just decide to shoot them. I mean, they had them held hostage. I mean, they were hostage anyway. You know what I mean? They just had them in there was not much they can do. And I'm thinking that possibly they probably would have done her first if it's something that, I mean, it seems like somebody was really, really upset with him and they had something.
But see, it's hard to get away from the timing of it. I mean, they got them literally hours before she was supposed to give birth. I mean, it's just a heinous, I feel like this, whoever it was, whether it be the gang, somebody they knew, retaliation, whatever, drugs, whatever the motivation behind this murder was. It just seemed like it was strategic. They wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
they took that whole family out.
Yeah. The timing is just so weird because it's like the timing of, him posting that, the timing of her, having a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and the timing of the scream. So you put all them timings together and it's just like, there's just so many ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I don't know. But I just found that his last ping being there and knowing what he had posted, I was just wondering, maybe that's how they got him, out there, set it up, and from there somebody else found. But there's quite a few. We know of at least 3, so that's for certain.
Yeah,
But I mean,
but we also have to take this into consideration. Okay, we keep forgetting, the first 48 hours. The first 48
yeah,
hours in any homicide investigation are the most critical time in place. Usually in the
right,
first 48 hours, the suspect has been identified.
right,
And so I believe that this is going to be a case where the suspect has been identified. Why is he not arrested yet? Because now everybody's going to be lying about this particular suspect. Now law enforcement's got to do their job and do shoe leather
right,
work and prove and put holes in that person's statement. And once they're
yeah,
able to prove and close that box, then that arrest warrant goes out.
yeah. I believe they pretty much have an idea who did it, and you got to remember this. I mean, whoever was in that truck and that guy, just that's all. The cases all over the place. His family knows who it is. His friends know it's him. I mean, that'd be like if I seen you in that picture. The
I
whole
think
couple
that's the
would say,
reason
"That's
why.
Betty. We know who that is."
Yeah, I think
you
the
know?
reason why the mom came out, what's her face, Savannah's mom came out and said they believe this is
Oh
related
yeah.
to the cartel or gang affiliation, is because I think they do know or
Yep.
recognized who
Well,
it
his
may
brother
be.
did say. His brother did say he suspects who it is, but obviously not going to say.
Hmm.
But I think I think they pretty much know, and and they're just making sure they get everything right. Going over the phone records because they didn't find his phone, but I think they can still pull up his records right from the phone company.
Up until my phone was destroyed, I could follow it everywhere it went.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's what they're doing.
I just want to clarify this, even when it was turned off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could follow my phone wherever it was going, even when it was turned off.
Yeah. It's crazy. We're being spied on 24/7.
Hmm.
But there's more cameras. There's cameras outside that place, and I mean they're
They're
only
going to be
showing what they
following the
have
cameras,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're just getting. I'm sure they're tailing him if he's still around. But I'm sure they're keeping an eye out, and they're going to be just like that other guy getting arrested. They'll be bringing people from the streets in on little things here and there, and bringing them in, and that's how they get people talking. So I think it's just a matter. I think they're just trying to make sure they get everything right. There's been no public plea for safety, not once that I've
But you
heard.
know what? I keep going because a lot of people keep bouncing around about, well, they didn't say there's a danger to the public, and it's like, well, every time we hear that answered, it's usually
Right.
because a media personality asked the question, is there any danger to the immediate public? That has not
Oh,
been
that
asked by any of
hasn't
the
been
local media out there. I went back and checked it twice, and unless I missed it, I didn't hear anybody from the media even ask the question.
right. No, I've never heard. I didn't hear it neither. And the press conferences have been, especially the first one, very brief. Very very brief. But it's just so many people know who this person is. It's
Mhm.
quite obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know who. If you know who it is, know the person. You know who it is, and you know the vehicle. So what's going to happen? People are going to get nervous, and them type of people, they talk. They brag, they talk, and
Hey, hold on just a
so
second. I didn't know this. I just wanted to say, Duty Calls, thank you so much for becoming a member to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Thank you, and God bless. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, there's so many, and if that one that we believe is a girl in the car, she's probably gonna be the most nervous. And probably have to come forward at some point, just to try to get some kind of deal for herself. But when they charges come down, there's going to be a slew of charges. There's going to be a lot,
Yeah.
and just hopefully it'll be soon. I feel
All right.
bad.
Let me grab this other line. There's another one calling
All
in.
right.
All right.
Everyone have a wonderful New Year.
You too. Love you.
All right. Bye, love. Love you too.
This is Betty.
Hi, Betty. It's Sharon from Canada.
Hey, Sharon. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Good.
So how have
How are
you
you
been?
doing? Oh, not too bad, love. Just a little bit sickening from this murder,
Yeah, it's awful. It's weighing on my mind. I got to tell you, especially every time I see her standing there with the shirt over the chair, and that shirt was of her brother, and she's heavily pregnant, and she's there with her hair beautiful. It breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very upsetting. The reason I'm calling is because everybody's saying that, this truck could have been his, but it also could have been stolen.
That's a good point, and a lot of these people, believe it or not, before they do like a robbery or a burglary or something, you make a valid point and a good perspective that we haven't discussed on here. But yes, it is not uncommon for them to steal a vehicle specifically for a crime.
Yep, and he could have also had money underneath his shirt and paid off the person who was ever in the car and pretending he was just wiping the car down with the rag,
Mm-hmm. Interesting perspective too, because somebody was talking about how he grabbed his belly, and we didn't see what happened after he kind of poked his head inside the vehicle.
Because if you look at the other guy that did the flip, when he went into the car or the truck, it looked like he didn't have a belly anymore.
Interesting.
So I was like watching over and over and over and over.
Trust me, I've been doing that too, but it's only been to look at certain aspects of his body features, not necessarily because I was looking at that belly. Good Lord, that belly.
Yeah, I know. But if you really look at it, because I've been watching 4 or 5 podcasts, and everybody's trying to come up with all different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch them over and over and over and over again, you can notice that the belly goes down.
That's what we're going to have to do. Is this it? No, that's not it. Where's my... This one? Is it this one? No. I'm trying to figure out which one it is on. Maybe this.
It's the one where you see the flip.
Yeah, no, but I've already got the tabs open. I'm trying to figure out what tab it is. Got all these damn tabs open. I got like 54 tabs open right now. Oops.
Yeah, but I just want to give all my deepest sympathies to everybody that's feeling this pain.
Yeah.
And to the families, and God bless them all, and the little baby, and it's very upsetting.
It is, and it's right before Christmas, literally days before Christmas. Like, this is just...
I know.
This is just disgusting. This is the worst of our society.
Oh. I'll tell you one thing. I'm a victim to murder, and it's the worst feeling. So I thought I'd just add that, and nobody understands when it comes to their door.
Yeah. And I think that, I think, Matt's father said it best when he says, you see these people and you don't understand it until you have to go through it, I think is kind of what he said.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Well, Sharon, God bless you. And I'm so sorry that you've had experiences like this in your life. I hope that you're able to take your experience and help somebody else with, because it's an experience that not many people deal with.
All right. God bless everybody. Have a happy new year.
You too. God bless you, and have a happy new year. And I hope you guys are safe and happy and enjoy the evening.
Happy 24.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night. Oh, that was really sweet. That was really thank you, Sharon. Oh, that was super, super sweet. I love it. I love it. So that really is what I kind of wanted to present to you. You know, I do believe this guy's a large guy, over 600 pounds, 500. Well, I'm going to say 600 to 800. That's what I plugged into the AI program. It produced me a belly until I see what an 800-pound man looks like, right, in the flesh. Because I can't for the life of me imagine the weight. Excuse me, weight wise. I just can't. So for whatever reason, I'm just having, I don't know. I know that my sister-in-law was over 550 pounds. She had the lap band surgery. She lost a little bit, but she was so morbidly obese that she couldn't maintain it. She had an addiction to food. So, she did get down to, I think, like 300 pounds, but I haven't seen her in years. So I don't know if she's gained the weight back or not, but I know what she was when she was at 550. Well, I guess it could be maybe 600 pound ain't moving that quick. I don't know. Like I said, I kept plugging in poundage on the AI program to produce the belly I needed, and the only way I got that belly was 600 to 800 pounds. Does that mean it's right? No, that's just the AI. I promise you, that's just what I plugged into AI. He could, for all I know, the man could be 400 pounds, but I still think he's over 500. I think he's 600. I'm thinking I've seen somebody 300 pounds. I know somebody that's 300 pounds. There's no way that would produce that big of a belly off of 300 pounds. I shouldn't say that. I could be wrong. We're looking at an image from far away. I don't know what the size of this man is. All I know is I think that this is a good, let me turn this off real quick. I think this is a good depiction. If nothing more, I may not have the weight right, but I think I got the visual depiction as accurate as possible. Okay, so let's not focus on the weight. Let's focus on the body type, which was the name of the game to begin with. The chubby cheeks, the fat, the flab. That's kind of really what I was trying to put in perspective when I decided to get AI involved, right? So the look, I think the look is about right. Now, do I know what his poundage is? I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody would be able to accurately, gauge that unless... I'm sorry, guys. Hey, you know what? I may not have it right on the poundage, but I think I got it right on the imaging. Let's get It's tough over here for Bullhorn Betty to be all techie and shit. Okay, we gotta give it up. All right, come on. I could have drew you guys a stick figure with a loop for a belly, like a donut, right? I could have drew you a stick figure with a donut to describe the person. AI at least gives us this beautiful imagery, right? Guys don't understand how bad my drawing is, okay? Thanks, buddy, for making me laugh. You're exciting and funny. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Hey, remember Hangman? Okay. All right. I would have done a hangman, but it would have been with a donut in the middle of the stick and the V. And that would have been his belly. A donut. We have good tamales in San Antonio. Tamales. Hey, so I just came across a post that said that the apartment in which they were found or owned by the same people who own their apartment complex, and the apartment complex. Ooh, so there is a connection that Anna lived in. There might still be a connection with Anna. I don't know. That could be her father. I'm just, like I said, I'm looking at this. Sometimes when you look at things over and over again, you start seeing shit that ain't there. I know that. I'm aware of that. That's why I stopped looking at it last night. I woke up this morning. Justice for All was still on, I start reviewing the images again, and I start writing at 3:00 in the morning, and Justice for All's live, like everybody's still up. He's half dead. He's delusional. I mean, the man he stopped making sense. I don't even know how the hell he was going, but he kept going and going and going and going. God bless that man. God bless that man. Justice for All, this is for you. You're a trooper. But I kept going, and then I'm like, this is a sumo wrestler. You want to see what I sent Justice for All last night before I went to bed? Because I started seeing it last night, and I'm like, okay, you know what? My brain might be playing tricks on me, right? I know that it's possible, so I decided to give it a rest. That's what I do when I start scratching my head. This might be disturbing to some viewers. They're fully clothed, but it might be disturbing to some viewers. Okay, this is what I sent to Justice for All. I said, I've been reading this. I've been looking for it. I'm telling you, it's a sumo wrestler. This is what I saw in the video. Oh, there. All right, can you see it? That's what I saw. Okay? A sumo wrestler. That's what I saw. And those were my first thoughts of who could have done it. And so I've modified it from the sumo wrestler to this guy right here. I think this is a better depiction than my sumo wrestler. I have to be honest with you. My sumo wrestler images were starting to disturb me. Okay, I won't lie to you guys. Okay, I was starting to get freaked out by looking at all that flab. I don't know who watches that. If anybody buys me a sumo wrestling ticket, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Do you bring blindfolds with you, or do they have some there? I mean, do you actually hear the slap of the body, the fat hitting each other? I mean, I don't want to know these things. They're just some things, I have to be honest, are just left to other people to deal with in your own imagination. Okay, I don't know. I think I remember hearing skin slap. I don't know about you guys. I really don't know about you guys. I don't know about two men's body parts, making a smacking sound. I don't know. It just does something to me. Okay. I just don't think that I would get enjoyment out of a sumo wrestling match. I could be wrong. I may enjoy it. I have no idea. I just don't know how I personally feel about it. He was acting in Remember the Titans, the really big guy. Yeah. My poor eyes. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? I said that. I'm sure that's what Justin said as well. I'm like, it's a sumo wrestler. It's a sumo wrestler. Okay, well, it's not a sumo wrestler. I just think it's a big guy. I think it's a big guy. I think it's a much bigger guy than we think. I looked at the height of Annalisa to the height of the girl in the car. I don't think the girl in the car is Annalisa either. But like somebody said, could it have been money up under that shirt? That might be able to explain it. I mean, you might have a pad of money, or even drugs, right? Some of these people, drugs are more, they sell it. They can get more money on the street than having hard, cold cash. So sometimes these dealers would like to pay their debt in drugs. It's what they have. It's their product, right? They can move it. They get it cheaper. So $1,000 in drugs to them typically are about $500. It's like, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. She could have been crouched down trying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was definitely somebody in that pickup truck. We don't know who that person was. It doesn't seem like whoever was in the back seat of that car was in the back seat of that car when we saw them, because the people were already dead. That person that may have shot him may have already been in that pickup truck. That might have been who threw the rag, maybe saying, "Hey, you need to wipe that thing out. You need to get in the back seat and wipe that back seat out." Because he did reach into the back seat. So he might have been the person wiping it, or it might have been the person in the truck telling him, "Hey, get my prints out of that car." Somebody paid for this. You don't get two people, a pregnant female and a man. You don't get wet work like that without it costing somebody some big money, unless you do it yourself. Just saying. That was a blackout, which would go right along with the gang, which might be exactly why people are starting to lean toward the gang mentality, because there is some things that would lean that way. You know, the blackout. I mean, you're talking about a pregnant mom, first child, 19-year-old. That's an ask. You need a special person for that job. That's not an easy job to have completed. I'll leave it at that. Check your messages. Which ones? Which messages, Jen? Which messages? Oh. Oh, good Lord. Leave it to Jen. Leave it to Jen. We got sumo wrestlers having backflips. All right, guys, that's really all I had. I don't want to take, I know you guys are doing your own research. You guys probably got a lot of people that you want to listen to about this case. This case is a hard, difficult case to deal with. It's hard for me to, palate, because it's a mom. It was her firstborn child. I can't imagine, how I feel. Our children are our future. I want them protected at all costs. And this is just a sad story. And getting back to the whole thing, I think these kids were really young, and they made a lot of poor decisions based on their lifestyles, based on what they knew growing up, based on a lot of different factors. They made conscious decisions to have this lifestyle. It might be the only thing they knew. It might be the only place that they could go. Sometimes people are products of where they live. What do I mean by that? When you're poor, you can only live in so many places. The only places that you can afford to live. And sometimes you can be a broke, good-hearted person living in a really poor area because you can't afford any place different. Now you're having to raise your family with all these bad, horrible things going on because you can't afford to do it. Next thing you know, your children are involved in shenanigans. Next thing you know, their children are involved in shenanigans. Next thing you know, you've got a family cycle of destruction that's being very difficult to break. These gangs are able to really easily manipulate these people, showing them that, look, I can provide you what your family cannot. Come be our family. All you got to do is do what you're told to do. We'll take care of you no matter what. You have a problem, you come to us. We're your new family. And people see the money, and they have things now that they never had an opportunity to have before. It's addictive. Aw, just a little bit because you made me laugh. Aw, got some Inform too. Oh, great. Thank you. I will definitely spend it on coffee, because if I could actually, you know what, I'll have to spend it on the IV and the coffee bag, because we're going to have to start, booting this stuff up. Okay. I mean, it's starting to get to the point where I'm getting addicted to coffee. All right, you caught me. I've been addicted to coffee for a really long time. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. God bless you. God bless you. All right, guys. Well, that's really all I have. You guys go make it a great evening. God bless you. I hope to see you guys here tomorrow for Manic Monday. Manic Monday. I'm going to keep looking. If you guys find any information about this case that might be beneficial to the research that I'm doing, please consider sending it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. You can reach out to me just about on any social media platform, but you have to be my friend. I realize there's spam boxes out there, but if you're not my friend, I really don't go into spam boxes. I just don't have the time. I'm lucky to even get to the messages that I get to. So it's easy. The easiest place to get a hold of me all the time is bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Anything with this case or another case. We're also going to be looking into, I haven't made the decision whether we're going to be able to help on this case yet or not. I'm still doing preliminary work. If you guys would have any of this work, there's a girl by the name of Brittany Wood that went missing in 2012. It's a cold case, or has been a cold case. We're going to start looking into that. If anybody wants to do any research on that and get that over to me, or what your opinion is of the case, I'd greatly appreciate that. But again, that's going to be coming in over the next week or so once they start getting some preliminary work and requests back in on that case. Again, Brittany Wood, 2012 case. Look into it. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll chat soon, guys. Go make it a great evening. Happy Sunday to all. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. Remember, you don't know what somebody's day has been like. So an act of kindness really does go a long way. Just treat others with humanity and dignity. God bless you.